In just 2 days, the House committee investigating the attack on the U.S. Capitol will hold what is likely its final public hearing. The committee's chairman, Benny Thompson, said last week that this hearing's format will be a bit different from the ones in the past and will not have a live witness. Joining us now, member of the January 6th Select Committee, Republican representative from Illinois, Adam Kinzinger. It's good to have you on the show this morning.
What surprises are in store, Congressman?
Oh, if I told you a surprise, it wouldn't be a surprise. Look, I think the big thing is bringing what you guys have seen over the summer, making sure everybody's reminded of that. It's quick how people forget, and then building more depth and having some new information. The bottom line is, I think by the end of the summer, we had really proved our case. Obviously, though we're not out as a Justice Department type thing, Justice Department really took a lot of the cues that we had produced and said there may be an issue here. So I think it'll be a good hearing, and we'll have the report come out here in a bit.
So, Congressman, are we looking at new information here, new witnesses, or does this amount to a closing argument? As you said, it's been since late July, a couple of months since this issue was really front and center for a lot of people. Midterms in a month. Are you making one last case to the American people before they go to the polls?
Yeah, I think no, it has nothing to do with November. It really does have to do with how do we get this report done? How do we get this information done by the end of this Congress? Because we don't know how the election's obviously going to go. And I think it's good to have a deadline on this. So it has nothing to do with the election. And again, I think, it's only a few days away. Let's see what we produce out here. I don't want to give any of the secret sauce away, if you will, or any of the information we have, because it's important that we present it to the American people when we have their attention.
So, Congressman, speaking of the midterms, yesterday you announced a new list of your endorsements, and there is a theme here. A lot of them are Democrats. Josh Shapiro, governor of Pennsylvania, Katie Hobbs, governor of Arizona. The list goes on and on. The theme being they are running against election deniers. Was that behind your decision?
It was. Look, we are the most important thing that we can deal with in November, that we can vote on, is based on, do you actually believe in democracy? Look, we're going to argue tax rates forever. We're probably going to argue abortion forever, even some of those hot topics out there. But the one thing we can't continue arguing if we lose it is, are we going to be a self-governing nation? And you have so many people out there that are convincing half of the country, or trying to convince half the country, that the election system doesn't work, that their vote was stolen. Democracies and self-governance cannot survive when they live in a bed of lies. And so, for me, it's look at this and say, okay, is the tax rate the most important thing? Is some, false allegiance to a party that you don't even know what it stands for anymore? Is that important? Or is it defense of democracy? And so there's a significant number of Democratic secretaries of state, because they are the ones that obviously run elections. You have two cases, both in Arizona and Pennsylvania, where you have massive deniers running for governor in a very important state that could change the outcome of the election. And then you look at people like Evan McMullin in Utah, who's running against Mike Lee. This is a real shot for an independent to beat a Republican in a very Republican state, because Mike Lee has been part of this whole election denying group. And so I think it's important for us to stand out Clinton Smith in Arizona as well.
So, Congressman, looking to this last hearing, not looking for you to give away secrets or name names, but the hearings you've had before are all sort of built on themselves, with each one providing new information. Having those hearings in this hiatus for you guys, have more people come forward, more people who saw the initial hearings, they resonated with them, more witnesses, more information you've learned because of the previous hearings, and will we learn that on Thursday?
Well, first off, yeah, absolutely. We've had more people come forward. We've been able to fill in gaps that maybe were things we suspected but didn't fully know, and now we have, confirmation of that. You also think about the fact that, look, here's a reality, though. People like Mark Meadows, folks, Dan Scavino, who we know was Donald Trump's kind of Twitter whisperer, if you will. He was the guy that was directly communicating through Twitter and through the internet. These people have refused to come and talk to us. It's hard to get information when they refuse to come and talk to us. We've been able to do the best we can around that, but it's very evident now that the Department of Justice, I think largely because of some of the work we've done, if not all of the work we've been able to do, realize that this is a bigger issue than they thought, or maybe than they had evidence for. And so they'll be able to get the information maybe that we weren't. I think we've made a compelling case. We're going to continue to. But really, Our job is coming to the sunset as we present this to the American people, and it's up to justice to actually do justice here.
All right. Illinois Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger, thank you very much. We'll be watching the hearings on Thursday and driving toward the midterms as well. Thank you very much.